Hi, I'm Richard from Frozen Well. Welcome back to my second devlog for my game Ghost Blaster. To begin with, I need to get the planning sorted for this project so that I can keep track of everything that I need to do. To this end, I'm going to be using Hack and Plan. This is a great piece of software that is targeted at project management specifically for game development. So, first of all, let's get some tasks added to work on. That's the first lot of tasks to do with the room editor created. This week's tasks are all centred around getting a basic room editor up and running so I can use it going forward to create and edit the different rooms that I'll be adding to the game. So let's get started on the first task, which is to create the ability to load one of the previously created rooms. It was reasonably straightforward to get the loading of a previously created room working, as I could reuse functions that were already created for the running of the game. I first of all populate all the arrays from JSON data, and then once this is completed I then loop through the chosen array and spawn all the relevant tiles for that room. I've hard-coded the array that I'm loading from, which will be sufficient for my needs. If I want to create a room from scratch, I would just comment out this on start of layout event and the layout would start empty ready for a new room to be created. Okay, so with the ability to load levels out of the way, it's now time to add the ability to move around the loaded room to edit it. That's movement implemented, so now when the room loads I can use the cursor keys to move around the room so I can edit any part of it. As you can see in the events on screen, I've limited the movement so that you can only move around the editable area. Here you can see the movement in action. Next, with the movement now complete, I need to add the ability to select different tiles to place in the room. I've now got the tile selector working. I've created a sprite that snaps to the grid so all the tiles will be placed correctly. Next, I added a global variable to keep track of the ID of the tile that I've selected. I added the ability to press W or S to scroll up and down through the available tiles. Then for usability, I added each of the available tiles to different animation frames in the sprite and set the frame number to the currently selected tile. Here we have the new tile selection ability working, showing that as you change tile, the visual display of the tile updates so you know exactly what tile you're placing. With tile selection sorted, I next need to get layer selection added. Here we have the layer selection working. I changed the layer by pressing the number key relating to the layer I want to edit. I've added some text to display the selected layer and also the selected tile number. Now, having got the ability to select the various tiles and choose the layer that they're going to be placed on, I need to add the function that allows me to actually add the tile to the layout. The add tile was pretty straightforward to implement. I've just reused the tile spawner function that I use in the game and pass it the tile I want to spawn and the layer and position it needs to be created on. This is triggered by the left mouse click. This is a progress now and I can cycle through the various tiles and place them wherever I want in the room. This is going to make it so much easier building the rooms. Next, I better add in how to delete tiles so that I can correct any mistakes that I make. That's the delete added now. It's just a case of moving the mouse over the tile I want to delete and making sure I'm on the same layer as the tile and then right clicking the mouse. The final task before I have my room editor working is to be able to save the rooms I create. It's not much use without this feature. The saving's now working on a key press, and here you can see the array being populated based on the tiles that I have in the scene. Finally, I've added the ability to output the array as a JSON file, so it can be loaded into the level generator and used in the actual game itself. I'm happy with how this has turned out, and I now have an easy way of creating rooms for Ghost Blaster. This should speed up the level creation going forward with the project. Thanks for listening, and please hit the subscribe button so you can follow my journey.